My Little Pony, a series originally created to sell toys to little girls. In fact, most cartoons were only created to sell merchandise to kids, but something strange happened with MLPG4. It not only gained popularity in its target audience, but it also gained popularity in an older male audience. As time goes by, the gender wars have truly only gotten worse, with shows nowadays becoming worse. Along with it, the question now is, what is ruining good shows? Are men ruining MLP? Okay, I get a lot of comments on my videos, especially now more than ever. I'm amazed at how quickly my channel is growing and how great my community is. But even with such a fantastic community, the internet isn't always positive. Despite my channel being 99% positive. Seriously, I have a handful of really nice comments on each video. For every few hundred comments, I get one or two negative ones. Now, what do I do with them? Sometimes I try to understand their point of view. I give them a chance to explain and see what's going on, but honestly, it's usually a pointless endeavor. 9 times out of 10, I just delete the comments, especially when they make me mad and I can't find a nice response. What's the point in arguing with what is most likely a stupid child on the internet? And hey, I don't care if you're acting this way, then you're a man-child and I have no time for stupidity. But the other day I got a comment that just stuck with me. And that comment was, in my opinion, very sexist, claiming boys have ruined My Little Pony. This isn't a response video. It happened a while ago, but it not only stuck with me, it ended up sparking an interesting discussion about the cultural argument around men versus women in my head and my own experiences with gender norms. When I was a kid, this debate existed, but my parents always taught me that it was a silly argument. You should like what you like. However, I remember my dad looking at me like I was crazy when I wanted to watch the latest Tinkerbell movie, but he never gave my siblings that look when they wanted to see the latest Star Wars film. I often wondered what made them different. Why is it that there is no issue when a girl wants to watch a guy's movie? But it's strange if a guy wants to watch a girl one. The answer lies in societal norms. Maybe we should scrap the whole boys versus girls argument entirely. But the deeper I dive into this issue as an adult, the more nuanced my understanding becomes. I believe it's essential to acknowledge our differences, while also recognizing that it's okay to enjoy things outside societal expectations for your gender. And no, it doesn't make the system bad. There are indeed differences in boys and girls, and it just makes it easier to sell. If something is considered more girly, then it makes sense girls might like it more. To get rid of the girl versus guy debate isn't going to help anything, and could actually do far more harm than good, because it will be that much more difficult to tell someone what the product you're trying to sell about. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who likes what. There's always going to be someone who doesn't like you, someone who doesn't like you, someone who wishes you didn't exist. That's just a fact of life. You can be bullied for anything. I was bullied for my looks, my weight, for being a nerd who loved anime, Star Wars, and superheroes. A big deal. The challenge is learning to ignore the negativity and focus on what makes you happy. However, it's also crucial not to shut yourself away from criticism completely. I did it as a coping mechanism growing up. And I'm not gonna lie, that isn't healthy either. That just makes you irritating to others who actually might be trying to help you. But now, I see the importance of finding balance. You have to remain rational while pursuing your passions and acknowledging what doesn't work for you and what does. Take criticism as a good thing, but don't take it so hard it ruins your life. Not an easy thing to do, but I feel like it's a constant sign of growing up when you achieve this. And only when you achieve this balance can you find true happiness. As a kid, I never saw my enjoyment of Tinkerbell as a threat to my masculinity. I loved Star Wars regardless of gender norms. The common thread was simple. They were good stories with compelling characters. But that's just the thing, isn't it? Sometimes the fact that girls like guy movies is just surface-level looks. And it's the same for guys liking girls. And there is nothing wrong with that. But a lot of the times, it has nothing to do with that and everything to do with good writing and character development, which is what I look for more than 90% of the time. Although I can't deny that skirt does help, just saying. Moving on. Here's a hot take. My sibling adored Peter Pan, but I hated it. My sister loved The Little Mermaid, but I felt it was a terrible movie. I don't like Ariel as a character regardless of how attractive she looked. And yet Peter Pan is supposed to be a guy movie, and I don't like any part of it. If I watch it, the only good character in it was Wendy because she was really, really smart. They're labeled as girl or boy shows to cater to the majority audience, and that's okay. I remember conversations around how many male fans there were compared to female fans in the Star Wars fandom. People would react poorly if you pointed out that males were the dominant gender within that community. Yet, even if males dominated the fandom, I never thought that mattered. Love what you love, as it doesn't harm anyone. Now there's this notion that girls are the ruining Star Wars or that the Force is female bullshit. The Force isn't male or female, it's an energy that connects all living things. It is what gives Jedi their power. They draw the Force energy. We've had strong female characters like Princess Leia and my Queen Padme Amidala from the start. They never ruined the franchise for me. If anything, they only added to my enjoyment of it. It was so cool to see someone who can be both beautiful, wear glorious dresses, and still be able to talk back, fight, and not be a doormat pushover. It was nice to see that they didn't have to dress like a man and have big giant arms for no reason. And that doesn't mean a girl can't have muscles either. One of my favorite characters in the newer Star Wars for a long time was Cara Dune, because she was actually a character. Many girls liked Star Wars for what it was, and now they turned it into a pathetic girl boss wannabe series, which originally had way better girl bosses in it that weren't trying to pander. And just like girls like the good story in Star Wars, men loved My Little Pony G for its quality storytelling. MLP was made for girls, but it resonated with a broader audience because it was well written. Sure, some people, me included, disliked G5 not because of its audience, but because it didn't meet the standards set by G4. And let me be clear, many people enjoyed it simply because it had a good story and embraced its feminine essence. It's the same with Star Wars. Women did not destroy Star Wars, nor did men ruin NLP. It was the poor decisions of people who didn't understand the franchises that let them down. In the past, creations were crafted by the original artists with a clear vision from the beginning, like George Lucas or Lauren Faust. They knew their subject inside and out because it was their own work. Today, however, movies and shows are often produced not by passionate storytellers, but by corporations primarily interested in making a quick buck, often lacking genuine understanding or connection to the content, resulting in subpar executions, especially when they don't have a plan. Only those who put in higher love, sweat, and tears are ever going to make something that truly resonates with people. Instead of doing that, they try to change it into something that it's not, ruining lore and retconning way too much. Honestly, what they should do is forget about making something based on nostalgia and create something that can stand on its own to feed something new for people to enjoy. But they can't do that. You know why? Because it's too much of a risk. If it doesn't have the criticizing audience, they feel it won't make money. Ironically, though, because of their poor management and attacking people who criticize it, they end up annoying the fans so much that they walk away from it entirely, resulting in less profit. All because they couldn't make something new and original. And I'm not talking about an entirely new series. I mean, like G5 being connected to G for Dumb Idea or Star, or sequels being called 7, 8, and 9 instead of the Ray Adventures, or something similar. They're not willing to take a chance, and that's the issue the movie and show industry has today. It's perfectly fine to enjoy something that was not directly made for you. It doesn't diminish your identity. It simply means you have unique taste. I hate when people insist that MLP isn't a girl show. It clearly is. Why can't I like it? Which is why I will always call a spade a spade. If your masculinity is hurt because you like a girl show, so you're trying to make an excuse for it, then you're the one with a problem, not me. I acknowledge it's a girl show, and I am still mad enough to like it. And I hate it when people suggest that we shouldn't have boys' stuff. Because we should. Men and women are different. What men can do, women can, and what women can't do, men can. We complete each other. We're two sides of the same coin, yin and yang. And if you look at the yin and yang symbols, you'll notice a little black in the white, and a little white in the black. Why? Because it's equal and it shows there's a little bit of both in each side. To argue is pointless. Accepting those facts and moving on is far better than engaging in unproductive arguments such as this. So to answer the question, the title of this video proposes, are men ruining My Little Pony?
No, and neither are women ruining Star Wars. It's bad management, and that's it. That is what is ruining stories today. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm done with it. Done. You all need to grow up. The world needs to grow up. You do the outro. I'm done.
Sorry about that. He can get fed up sometime. Like, share, remember, subscribe for more, and leave a comment. He will read it when he calms down. Remember, friendship is magic.